Marco Polo was an Italian merchant traveler whose travels are recorded in The Travels of Marco Polo, a book that introduced Europeans to Central Asia and China. He learned the mercantile trade from his father and uncle, Niccolo and Maffeo, who traveled through Asia and met Kublai Khan. In 1269, they returned to Venice to meet Marco for the first time. The three of them embarked on an epic journey throughout Asia. In China, an envoy from the Levant invited them to meet Kublai Khan, who had never met Europeans. In 1266, they reached the seat of Kublai Khan at Dadu, present-day Beijing, China. Kublai received the brothers with hospitality and asked them many questions regarding the European legal and political system. Marco, a gifted linguist and master of 4 languages, learned Chinese customs and became a favorite with the Khan and was appointed to high posts in his administration. He served in the Khan's court for 17 years. During this time, he wrote accounts of the many wonders of the civilization. He wrote of how the emperor incorporated Mongol culture to remind him of his home. Marco described the practice of polygamy and how one could inherit their brother's widow wives. The idea of paper substituting gold and silver was a total surprise even to the mercantile Polos. Marco attributed the success of paper money to Kublai's stature as a ruler. With these pieces of paper, they can buy anything and pay for anything, and I can tell you that the papers that reckon as 10 bezants do not weigh 1, Polo said. Marco was equally impressed with the efficient communication system in the Mongol world. There were 3 main grades of dispatch, which may be rendered in modern terms as second class, first class, and on His Imperial Majesty's service, top priority. Second-class messages were carried by footrunners who had relay stations 3 miles apart. Each messenger wore a special belt hung with small bells to announce his approach and ensure that his relief was out on the road and ready for a smooth takeover. This system enabled a message to cover the distance of a normal 10-day journey in 24 hours. Marco Polo traveled a great deal in China. He was amazed with China's enormous power, great wealth, and complex social structure. China under the Yuan dynasty was a huge empire whose internal economy dwarfed that of Europe. He reported that iron manufacture was around 125,000 tons a year, and salt protection was a prodigious scale, 30,000 tons a year. A canal-based transportation system linked China's huge cities and markets in a vast internal communication network in which paper money and credit facilities were highly developed. The citizens could purchase paperback books with paper money, eat rice from fine porcelain bowls, and wear silk garments, as well as live in prosperous cities that no European towns could match. Polo described the ceremony of a great Khan's funeral. Anyone unfortunate enough to encounter the funeral cortege was put to death to serve their lord in the next world. Mangu Khan's corpse scored over 20,000 victims in this way. Polo witnessed the great Genghis Khan as he died from a wound sustained in battle. The Polo stayed in Khan's court for 17 years, acquiring great wealth in jewels and gold. They were anxious to be on the move since they feared that if Kublai, now in his late 70s, were to die, they might not be able to get their considerable fortune out of the country. The Kublai Khan reluctantly agreed to let them return after they escorted a Mongol princess, Kokachin, to marry to a Persian prince, Arghun.